Alright, pretty trash training day here, front to back. I think from squatting so heavy the other day, low back was still pretty fatigued. I've deadlifted 545 in the past, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And this 445, didn't move. I don't know. I mean, it is pretty crazy to think that from doing a heavy set of squats a couple days prior, I was this fatigued that I couldn't get an 80% lift done. I definitely think recovery is something that needs to be respected, especially for heavy lower body training. But damn, I never really thought I would be in a position where I'd miss an 80% deadlift. Also deadlifted conventional 465 for 5 last week. So that was pretty crazy to experience missing something like that. I really don't have much of a need to sumo deadlift right now. I'm not preparing for a powerlifting meet or anything. So if conventional feels better, I might just do that instead. I might get back to a place where that starts to feel better than sumo. Or maybe not, who knows? I don't really care. I just don't want to miss lifts that light. So I'm going to have to maybe push the squat heavy one week, push the deadlift heavy the next, which I've had a good bit of success with in the past. This RDL set was honestly pretty good. Definitely stimulative. My low back is trashed from this. This was 375 for 10. I've done 408 for 8 and 315 for 15, so I kind of tried to pick something that was right in between those. This felt very heavy. This did not feel easy at all. Didn't feel light in my hands at all. When I walked that 265 over to the rack, I did a couple warm-up reps of RDL before throwing this on, and that felt like it was 400 plus pounds. I guess my nervous system is just pretty shot from such a heavy squat day the other day, but I'll adjust accordingly. Kind of dropped down a little bit. Same way I've been with a lot of barbell lifts lately, especially for pulls and squats. Dropped down 10-ish%. I considered that about 40 or so pounds. So down to 335 on this one. Still felt super heavy, super hard, not very good. I don't really care how something like this feels, volume for a lower body lift. It's naturally going to feel pretty trash because if I'm doing volume for something, that implies that at least late the prior week or early in the week that I'm doing that lift in, I've already gone really heavy. So kind of already checked that box of moving something really heavy and having to dial in. So this is kind of just putting my head down and working. But I didn't expect these to feel this heavy. So yeah, just RDLing. And then moved on to maybe some back extensions after this. I honestly don't even remember. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So same structure as last time I did these. I basically do one set with a arched torso, arched rib cage, anterior tilt, whatever you want to call that. So I really get a big hamstring stretch in these. Again, not moving the needle strength-wise here. Nothing crazy, just trying to feel a little bit better after demolishing my back prior. I don't really do an equivalent of this for squat. I think that's because squat doesn't tend to leave me as fucked up feeling. Although it will fuck up my lifts in the coming days, which is pretty obvious from this video. I don't tend to walk around feeling pretty terrible after squatting, whereas walking around after a ton of hinging really heavy or deadlifts or whatever, that feels pretty trash. So throwing this in just to kind of feel good. I'll eventually get rid of this probably, just because I'll get bored of it or not really believe that it even makes me feel better the next half hour, or whatever it is. But yeah, next set is a little more round back. Try to round my torso as much as possible at the bottom and then kind of flare up on the way up. So the first set I feel a lot in my hamstrings, this set I feel a lot in my back, which is kind of what I'm after. But yeah, this wraps up kind of a decent training week. Could have been a little bit better. That 405 for 5 is something I've been chasing down for a long time, so it feels good to check that box, but Thought the deadlift would be there a little bit more this week. It's interesting that 395 for 5 didn't seem to interfere with the deadlift at all the week prior, and then 405 for 5 interfered with it a ton. That's probably largely psychological. But in a session like this, I'm just going to listen to my body, man. If I'm PRing something that week, then take it as I can get it and move on. Body weight's like 218 right now. I'm kind of hitting the upper volume pretty hard, so weight gain is expected. And although I'm not really after it, I might be adding a little bit of lower body mass as well. So that body mass gain is to be expected. All right, guys, see you later.